Have you seen a film called My Fair Lady?
I think I have a long time ago.
It was with Audrey Hepburn
Yes.
and a guy called Rex Harrison, and he's a mad professor type, and he has a bet with one of his friends, English upper class gentleman. He says, "I believe I can get, the meanest, most common person that we can find and turn her into a lady." Yeah. And so they find Audrey Hepburn, who's selling flowers at the market, and she speaks well, she speaks in a very lower class English fashion. Yeah. I won't try and do that. It's like, all right, want some flowers, eh? That's probably okay, we'll carry on. Yeah, we can raise the politically incorrect flag a little bit later. And so it's based on the play by George Bernard Shaw called Pygmalion, and which is basically, can you train somebody to do something that they're not? And the answer is yes, to a certain extent, depending on how much training goes in. And there is a sequence of papers called the Pygmalion Report, or the Pygmalion Papers, and this was research done in the 1960s. The psychologists went to schools and they said to the schools, "We're going to test the intelligence of your kids." Teachers said yes. They said, "Great, well, this 80% of the kids are normal, and this 20%, they've got it, they're intelligent." And the teachers are going, "Really? Them?" "Yep, them." "Uh-huh, okay." "Those kids are intelligent?" "Yep, you've got it. Those are thick, those are brainy." And then they went away. And then they came back 1 year later and they said, "Right, we're going to test the kids again and we're going to see what's happened with them." And now they ran a test where the 80% of the children who were normal were still normal. The 20% of the kids who were identified as being brainy were more brainy. They had increased in their intelligence disproportionately to the other group. And the researchers are saying to the teachers, "Well, what happened? Why did they get more brainy?" And the teachers are saying, "Well, because they're brainy. Brainy kids get brainier." And the researcher says, "No, sorry, we forgot to tell you something. 1 year ago, we lied to you. We gave everybody a generic test. We just chose 20% of random kids and said that they are brainier. But now 1 year later, their intelligence levels have risen much, much higher than everybody else's. So what did you do?" Very cool, huh?
Yeah.
This was done in the 1960s, LSD, flower power, everything was possible. There was no such word as compliance in that day and age. But it did have a very big impact on business. Yeah, the whole area of how do you treat your students? Yeah, it has a massive impact on how they will learn and to what extent they will learn.
Yeah. And how does it relate to technical training environments?
It relates in the following way. If you are explicit about what you want people to learn, so in our triangle model, this would relate to the target knowledge. So if you can be really clear in what you want people to take away from the training, if you can tell people what the 15% is, what is the most important part of the training, then, and you can show them that before you begin with that training in a list of objectives, a program overview, even if they do some kind of test beforehand, then their knowledge will rise much, much quicker within that session itself. Mm-hmm. And the other one is simply psychological. Expect your students to be bad and they will. Expect them to be good and they will.
Yeah.